So they're racing to put that in place. We have to really stand up against them now and slow them down, because once their cashless control grid's in place, it's going to be a lot harder. Correct, Bob?
Absolutely. And this is part of world government, and that's what they're headed for. And all the defeatists out there are willing to accept that. Well, Alex and I are not, and you aren't, and most of the audience isn't, and that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to go after them. We won't wait for them to come to us. We're going to engage them, and we're going to attack them. And you know something? We're going to conquer them.
Let's go, because, see, once the system is fully discredited, they stage terror attacks, it won't work. They start new wars, it won't work. I mean, they're getting so discredited that when they attack myself and others now, people go, oh, Alex must be good, they're attacking him. I mean, there's a certain point where people don't buy anything they say or do. Let's talk to Alan in Kentucky. Alan, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I doubled that. Mike in New York. Mike, go ahead.
Oh, how you doing, Alex and Bob? Excuse me. Yeah, I've been listening, and I heard that caller, and, you know, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do what I can, too. And, you know, if it means handing out DVDs to people, which what I've been doing, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to do whatever I can to help wake some people up. And it has been, you know, I have been having, you know, an effect. People have been seeing the DVDs, and they see what's going on now clearly. And a lot of people, they've been making copies and handing it out to friends and people that they know, and that's the way you do it. I mean, you have to do something, and you know, if that's one effective way to do it, then let's do it, right?
In the Homeland Security literature, they are so angry about my films and other films being duplicated and handed out, because the lie has to be reapplied every day. Once somebody sees the truth, they already knew most of it. It suddenly makes sense. The mind is unlocked. It only takes one dose of a Fall the Republic or Obama deception or America Freedom to Fascism for somebody to really wake up. It only takes one dose. And that's why they're punishing people. There's an article up at prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. America Freedom to Fascism star Sherry Jackson, IRS agent, is being murdered in prison right now. And we've got her letter about how they're killing her and not giving her a medication. They want to let other federal agents know that if they come out and admit that internally the IRS knows they work for the private Federal Reserve, they know of their own people. You know, there's a famous photo that my parents brought back to me from East Germany after it fell, but it's a famous photo of right after they closed the wall back in the 50s of a little toddler. His parents had gone through. He got caught in the wire, and an East German soldier comes over, untangles him. The parents are begging, and he gives the child to them. They took that guy and tortured him to death, but he saved a child. He's a real man. And that photo is very famous in Germany today. And so just like they're torturing her to death, they tortured him to death. And because they want to punish their Nazi forces. They want, when one of their forces does the right thing, they want to throw them in the deepest dungeon or kill them. Everybody needs to call. We have the phone numbers up there, and let these criminals know that we know they're murdering her. Bob Chapman.
I'm running that letter tomorrow in the International Forecaster, and I received it like you did. And I think it's tragic. And there's so many people you never hear about that get thrown into prison for victimless crimes, we'll call them. Alan Stang, you know, who just died recently, he was thrown in prison because he fought the tax system. And, of course, you know what the outcome was. The court doesn't listen, and the judges do what they're told to do. And off Alan went for a couple of years in prison. And so this is what they do when they get you there. Alan told me that when he was in there, they did everything possible to...
Stay there, Bob. Let's do one more segment. I want you to finish that story. These are real heroes, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're up against, but we're winning. We'll be right back. Sherry Jackson, IRS agent, went public, exposed the fraud. They arrested her, threw her in prison. They have special tax courts that are outside of the regular law, but these judges just do whatever they want. This is the private taxing system of the offshore banks that are raping and robbing us. And I have a special message to the police and military and others coming up in the next segment. But finishing up the story you were telling about Alan Stang, who died this year, Alan Stang being some of the things they did to him in jail.
Well, they did everything possible, he said, to try him to get the rules so that they could mistreat him. And fortunately for him, he was very, very careful, and it didn't happen. But these kinds of, quote, criminals are treated that way because they influence society in a big way. And anybody who is a tax protester, which Alan was at one time, has a field of influence. And so that's why they did what they did to him. And, of course, as you know, he wrote a number of books. And there's one we've been advertising, Perestroika Sunset, which is a very good book about what happened to our men in Southeast Asia. And we do have a few copies of it left. But anyway, that's what you can expect from government. They are in control. If you do lose and have to go to jail, you keep your mouth shut and just hope that you don't have to go through with that which this former IRS agent has gone through.
Absolutely, Bob. Well, in closing, I'm going to come back and take calls and cover some news. We're going to let you go. We appreciate your weekly visit with us. People can go to theinternationalforecaster.com, get a free issue there. It comes out twice a week in the e-format, a few times a month in the hard copy. In closing, I didn't want to get into this whole discussion about loser attitude. That's happened one time before when a caller called in and said something similar. But I'm not putting a good face on it to say that we're having the biggest victories we've ever had week after week now. More victories than we would have in 10 years previously we're having in a week now. And that's only the beginning of this if people get up and stand up, because the population is ready to hear the truth worldwide right now. And the people are discovering this global government grid. And I just hope that everyone redoubles their efforts going into the new year to wake up as many people as they can and to take over their towns and cities peacefully through the political process. It's been the crooks and the liars and the parasites. They know the power of taking action, so they've gone in and taken over. Your comments on that statement?
You know, they're taken over because we've allowed them to. We were too busy doing something else. And now with high unemployment, an economy that's spiraling downward, there is no recovery going on. That's just more propaganda. And unless they increase and have another stimulus plan, we're going to go into depression. And before we get there, there's going to be a lot of inflation. And so the public's got to wake up. They got to say to themselves, well, gee, why did this all happen? And get outside the box and listen to Alex and people like him who are talking about this.
Well, Bob, I read earlier an El Centro holds position for the highest jobless rate in the country, CNN Money, of 32.2%. All the real indexes nationally are over 20. CNBC says 17.5. But Obama says unemployment is dropping, Bob.
Well, yeah, the U3 is what they call that, and it just dropped from 10.2 to 10%. And, you know, I have the breakdown on the jobs here, and payroll at builders declined 27,000 after falling 56,000 the month before. And the factory payrolls fell 41,000 after decreasing 51,000 the month before. These are the high-paying jobs. Now, let's go over to where the jobs were created. And I'll preface this by saying these are the lowest paying jobs in the economy: banks, insurance companies, restaurants, and retailers.
And that's only a microscopic Christmas bump.
Well, it is not a truthful annual take on this thing, because, you know, retailers add people because it's Christmas time, as you point out, and then restaurants do more business because people are rushing from here to there because it's a holiday season. And banks and insurance companies, I don't know how many they put on, but I don't think it was very many.
Amazing. Bob Chapman, we'll talk to you again coming up live next Friday in the 1 o'clock hour. Thank you for spending time with us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Alex, and audience, thank you very much.